The war between the Xalarians and the Gorvax had lasted for over a century. Both species, fierce and intelligent, had forgotten the reason it began. The conflict spread across dozens of star systems, leaving only ruin in its wake. But neither side expected that the fate of a single child would be changed by the most unlikely of heroes, a human dog. A fragile survivor. Lena was only 6 years old, a Xalarian child with delicate silver skin and large, sorrowful black eyes. She had survived the destruction of her home planet, Scifi, by the Gorvax. Now she was lost on an abandoned research station, floating in the void of space. Cold, hungry, alone. She didn't understand why her people fought. She only wanted to go home, but there was no home left. The station had once been a secret research facility and now abandoned. It was filled with broken machinery, flickering lights, and eerie silence. Her small feet made soft echoes as she wandered the metallic corridors, searching for food, for warmth, for anything. Then she heard a sound, a low growl. Lena froze, fear gripping her tiny heart. She turned slowly and saw a shape emerge from the shadows, a creature with 4 legs, sharp eyes, and a thick coat of fur. It was massive, almost as big as she was. Its ears twitched, its nostrils flared. It looked like one of the war beasts the Gorvax used for hunting. But then, it did something unexpected. It wagged its tail, a soldier's best friend. This was Max, a military K9 unit, an Earth dog specially trained for warfare. The humans had left the sector long ago, but Max had been left behind, his ship destroyed during a battle years ago. His original handler, Surgeon Cole, had died in an ambush. Yet Max had survived, living in the station's ruins. He had been waiting for his master to return, but no one ever came. For years, Max had roamed the cold station, scavenging what he could. His advanced cybernetic implants helped him function in low-oxygen environments, and his enhanced AI allowed him to think more like a soldier than a simple animal. And now, he had found Lena. The child trembled as the massive dog approached. Max sniffed the air, his sharp senses detecting fear, exhaustion, and hunger. His training kicked in. He had been programmed to protect humans, but something deep inside him, something older than programming, made him decide. This child needed him. Gently, Max nudged Lena's hand with his cold nose. She gasped but didn't pull away. Instead, her tiny fingers curled into his thick fur. D-Dog. She whispered in her alien tongue. Max whined softly. He understood no words, only emotions. He knew loneliness when he saw it. Survival together. For the next few days, Max led Lena through the station, protecting her from dangers she could not see. He hunted for food, found purified water, and even discovered an old blanket for her to sleep on. At night, when the station's power flickered off and darkness consumed everything, Lena curled up beside Max, her tiny hands gripping his fur. For the first time since her planet was destroyed, she felt safe. Max never left her side. He growled at the strange sounds in the dark, his ears twitching at every mechanical hiss. Whenever Lena cried, he nudged her gently, offering silent comfort. One day, as they explored deeper into the station, they found a working communications console. Lena didn't understand much about technology, but she knew what a distress beacon was. Excited, she looked at Max and pointed at the screen. "Help," she said, her voice weak but hopeful. "Call. Someone help." Max barked, his cybernetic implants recognizing the command. He pressed his nose against the panel, activating the signal. Then the alarms blared. Enemies in the dark. The distress beacon had been picked up, but not by friendly forces. A Gorvax warship had been patrolling the area, searching for survivors from the destruction of Cell 3. They detected the signal and assumed it was from an enemy. Within minutes, they docked with the station. Lena's tiny body shook in fear as the metallic doors hissed open. Massive, armored warriors stepped inside, their red eyes scanning the room. Max snarled, stepping protectively in front of Lena. His programming recognized the Gorvax as hostiles. He was outnumbered, outmatched. But he would not back down. The Gorvax laughed, their deep voices echoing through the station. "A Solarian brat, weak and useless," one of them growled. "And what is this? A human's war dog?" Max bared his teeth. He did not understand their words, but he understood their intent. It would not take his girl, a hero's last stand. As the Gorvax stepped forward, Max lunged. His enhanced body moved faster than any normal animal. His steel-enhanced jaws snapped shut around a warrior's throat, tearing through flesh and armor alike. The alien gurgled and fell. Another Gorvek raised his weapon, but Max was quicker. He dodged, his cybernetic implants analyzing movement patterns. He slammed into the enemy's legs, sending him crashing to the floor. The third Gorvek fired his plasma rifle. A bolt of burning energy struck Max in the side. He yelped but did not fall. Smoke rose from his wound, his breathing ragged. Lena screamed. Tears flooded her eyes as Max struggled to stand. His body trembled, but he placed himself between Lena and the Gorvax again. He was a soldier. His soldiers did not retreat. Then, a new alarm rang out. A second ship had arrived. Through the viewport, Lena saw Solarian fighters swarming in. The distress beacon had reached her people after all. Blue energy blasts tore through the Gorvek ship, forcing the remaining warriors to retreat. A moment later, Solarian soldiers stormed the station, their weapons raised. Lena collapsed to her knees beside Max. He panted, his eyes heavy with exhaustion. She wrapped her tiny arms around his neck, sobbing into his fur. "Dog, Max, don't go, please." The soldiers stood in silence watching. One of them, a high-ranking officer, knelt beside Lena and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. "We will take him with us," he said softly. "He saved you. He is one of us now." Max weakly licked Lena's face before his body gave into sleep. A new beginning. Days later, Max awoke in a medical bay, his wounds treated with advanced alien technology. Lena sat beside him, stroking his fur. "You saved me," she whispered. Max did not understand the words, but he understood the feeling. He rested his head on her lap, his tail wagging weakly. Lena smiled through her tears. Humanity had left the stars, but their kindness, their loyalty, and their love remained, in a dog that refused to abandon a child. And in her heart, he was no longer just a war machine, he was family.